In one of the most heated press conferences of his presidency, Donald Trump called Barack Obama unfit to lead and promised to prove it with a secret recording. Reporters braced for a scandal, but when the tape began to play, the room fell silent for a very different reason. What was meant to destroy Obama's reputation ended up reminding the country of why his voice still carries so much weight today. The White House press briefing room was already buzzing with tension before President Trump even walked in. Reporters clutched their notepads, cameras lined the back wall, and you could feel that something unusual was about to happen. When Trump finally stepped up to the podium, he didn't waste time. His opening words weren't about policy, foreign affairs, or the economy. They were aimed squarely at one man, Barack Obama. Barack Obama, Trump said, his voice sharp, was unfit to lead this country then, and he's unfit to have influence on it now. The words cut through the room like a knife. Journalists glanced at one another, eyebrows raised, pens freezing mid-sentence. Everyone knew Trump had attacked Obama before, but this moment felt different. There was a kind of electricity in the air, a sense that something bigger was coming. In the front row, a reporter from the Washington Post leaned forward. "Mr. President," she called out, "are you saying the former president is actively working against your administration?" Trump's jaw tightened, and he nodded slowly. "That's exactly what I'm saying. People don't know the half of it. He's been undermining everything we've built. But today, you're going to hear it for yourselves." The room went silent. Not a cough, not a shuffle, just silence. Reporters knew they were on the edge of a story that could explode in every direction. Trump turned slightly and gestured to a staffer off stage. A laptop was carried forward, set down carefully on the podium. Trump tapped the microphone once, leaned into it and said, "We have a recording. It's Obama himself. You'll see what I mean." Some in the press corps held their breath. Others began scribbling furiously, desperate to get down every word. The anticipation was thick enough to feel in your chest. People weren't sure what they were about to hear, but the way Trump framed it made it sound like a bombshell. From the third row, Michael Rodriguez of NBC News whispered to a colleague, "This could change everything." His colleague just shook his head, eyes locked on the podium. Trump looked out over the room, a hint of satisfaction in his expression. "For years I've said," he continued, "Obama was never fit for leadership. He was never fit for America. But don't just take my word. Listen to his own words." He hit a button on the laptop. The speakers crackled to life. At first, nothing but static. Then a familiar voice emerged, unmistakable, calm, measured, Barack Obama. "Thank you all for being here today," Obama's voice began. "I know times feel uncertain, and many of you wonder if your efforts matter, but I'm here to tell you they do. Every conversation you have, every young person you mentor, every time you remind someone that this country belongs to all of us, you're shaping the future." Reporters glanced around confused. This wasn't the bombshell they were expecting. It didn't sound like a scandal. It sounded presidential. Trump stood with arms crossed, confident that the recording would prove his point. But the words spilling from the speakers didn't feel damaging. They felt like something else entirely. A journalist in the back whispered, "Where's the attack? Where's the betrayal?" But the tape kept playing. Obama's voice was steady, reassuring. He spoke about community leaders in Detroit, about resilience, about teaching young people that democracy wasn't something handed down. It was something fought for, protected, and nurtured. The contrast was stunning. In that room filled with tension and expectation, reporters found themselves listening not to an indictment, but to a reminder of a different kind of leadership. One cameraman, usually stone-faced, quietly muttered, "This is actually moving." The press corps, used to high drama in sharp-edged remarks, suddenly felt caught in a moment they hadn't anticipated. Instead of scandal, there was inspiration. Instead of evidence of betrayal, there was a call to unity. And yet Trump didn't stop it. He let the tape roll, his expression unreadable, almost daring the press to interpret it the way he wanted. But the words carried their own weight, painting a picture that no amount of framing could distort. By the time Obama's voice reached the part where he said, "Our democracy survives not because of one leader, but because of millions of voices refusing to give up on one another," the energy in the room had shifted completely. Reporters weren't scribbling as fast. They were listening. The irony was impossible to ignore. what Trump had introduced as proof of unfitness